Well,
Welcome, friends of all designs, to 8.5-bit.
I haven't even loaded up the notes yet.
Oh, we talk about games in various criteria.
That's top 5, which we don't do anymore.
This week, host is brought to you by Anais.
What?
Take it away, Anais.
Welcome, friends of all designs, to episode 175 of 8.5-bit.
Did I throw you?
You did.
Yes.
Which I'm sure is going to be the most child laboury episode of them all.
Oh.
I'm your host, Paul, and joining me today are my good friends.
My blood friends.
Do I restart or keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
Let's keep going. Anais.
Hello.
And Jim's.
Jimmy B. How you going, everyone?
And friends, I have a question for you.
Yes.
How good is 10 Things I Hate About You?
The greatest is like top 5 movies ever.
Fucking amazing.
I've never seen 10 Things I Hate About You.
It's great.
Yeah?
It's
So
legit
great.
great. I watched it yesterday.
Was that the first time you'd seen it?
No, I've seen it many times.
Okay,
but my wife was like, I'm going to put this on. Do you mind? I'm like, no, it's fine. I remember it being good.
Yeah.
Watched it. Fucking amazing.
You should
It's
sell
amazing.
me what makes it great.
It's just real good.
Have you not seen it?
No, I've never seen it.
It's like Heath Ledger. It's like what it made him like big.
You know CJ from West Wing?
Yes.
So she's the principal, and she likes to write erotica and ask the students for like thesaurus words.
She's great.
I can see why this appeals to you.
Yeah, she's real good.
And Alex Mack from
Alex Mack. That's not her real name. That was the thing she was from.
She's in it. And
Julia Stiles.
yes,
And
Julie
she gave me
Stiles.
many a boner in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt, that kid.
Yeah.
It's good.
What's it about?
It's The Taming of the Shrew.
Oh.
But in a high school,
okay.
and it's really well made. It's one of those things, I was just looking at like the production design in the backgrounds, like graffiti, and like there's this whole thing with like kids that play hockey in the car park, but it's only ever in the background. And just like a set and production designers that are just having fun the whole time.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of subplots that don't have anything to do with the real plot. They're just happening around, and you can follow it if you want. It's really well made. I was like, we need more teen movies like this.
We do.
Get on that video games industry.
Yeah.
So, how have you two been?
Okay.
Good.
You know,
Busy.
busy, as
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
Playing video games, making video games.
I wouldn't say you are always busy.
I'm pretty busy.
Sometimes you're busy.
When am I not busy?
You're having siesta.
Oh man. I was thinking before coming to the show today, do I have time for like a 20-minute power nap? Didn't have time for a 20-minute
I think a nap would really put up my energy at the end of the day.
But it can't be longer than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, I push it to half hour.
No,
I go
you're
full for it.
crossing the line. You
Yeah, that's when you like drop into like REM and all
Yeah.
that stuff, and then you're
Oh,
screwed.
see, the thing. I can't actually sleep solidly at any time, so that's fine.
Well, I'm the same. I can't sleep.
I haven't had
Yeah.
REM in years.
Good band.
album.
I used to listen to REM's greatest hits when I played Road Rash. Because Road Rash, you could put in any CD for the
Yeah.
music, or just play tracks off the album. It's pretty good.
REM?
Yeah.
That go with the Road Rash.
It does for me. It does for me. I think I'm the only person that when they hear, just like...
I've got this weird association between Dreamweb and Blue Oyster Cult.
Mm-hmm.
Because I discovered both these things at the same time. Dreamweb is an old top-down adventure game. And I also discovered Blue Oyster Cult. And I just had listened to them both at the same time.
Well, I remember Blue Oyster Cult when we got into Hell.
Yes.
Oh no, Ripper.
Ripper.
We messed up our FMV games.
Yeah, our Take-Two weird average adventure games.
Do you have any weird associations to music?
Not really.
I associate Kid A with Harry Potter because I speed read the first 4 books in 2 days listening to Kid
really?
A.
Huh. It's like everyone as a kid read those books.
Yeah,
It's like a thing.
But
You're
what
like, I
album
read it
did you
in
listen to
one
at the
day.
time? Yeah, but I was doing it because I was trying to get laid.
I don't know how many people were reading Potter to attempt to get laid.
She really liked Harry Potter?
Yep.
It's also why I watched a fucking season of Survivor.
Well, how was it?
It didn't kill me.
Yeah.
It's fine. Harry Potter was better. Yeah, okay. Video games. I want to take the reins here because there is a video game that I played this weekend, because it was only in an open beta. It is not finished yet. Called The Tomorrow Children by our friends at Q Games. So much so that I am now really need to pick up those old contacts we had because I need to ask a million questions about this game. The Tomorrow Children may be the weirdest game I've ever played. And I've played a lot of weird fucking games. So The Tomorrow Children is about child labor. In a surreal Soviet world where you sort of play wooden children, rescuing... What are the babushka dolls called?
Babushka dolls.
No, there's an M. The actual babushka is not the actual name of it. Collecting those dolls to improve your town by releasing their souls to do your population. It is really strange. This is a really, really impressive game. Q Games is quite a small studio. It's really impressive. It might be like the artiest game I've ever played. And I mean that is that I don't know if this game is fun, but I think it successfully does capital A art better than most, in that it's still an actual game.
So it's a bit crafty, is it?
Yeah, so it's a bit Minecrafty. You go around your mine shit. That's one of your main goals. But so most of the game is focused around building a town.
Yep.
And you and everyone on a server in a certain town will work together. It's multiplayer, but you don't see everyone all the time. They kind of just appear and disappear. But if you blow your whistle, everyone around you will appear for a second. So
you're in the same space.
You're in the same space, but you can't necessarily see everyone.
When you blow the whistle.
No, they'll still just appear sometimes if they're close to you, things like that. So it's a bit... Apparently it's very deliberate, but I wonder what came first. The technical limitation of them trying to run this off their servers, because people aren't in sync. So I just want to point out what's happened in the footage here. I just destroyed the heart inside this giant red head with bombs falling on top of it, which seems to have allowed this giant monster to now just cleave straight through it. And then in a few minutes, this structure will sink into the ground, and the ground will become a sinking substance for me. And if I don't escape, I will die. There's a lot of things this game invokes.
Yes.
A lot of feelings. And a lot of imagery.
I feel like plastic.
Well, it's like everything has these real textile feelings to it. It's like textile. So anyway, let's say you're building a town.
Okay.
And there's sushi in space hanging there. That was another little island off my town that existed.
How crafty can you be?
Not really. The game's more about mining. So the craftiness is, if you want to build something in town, you go up to the workstation. And the workstation, you go up, say, I'm going to build this. We've got the resources for it. And then you legitimately do like a sliding puzzle game. Like that's kind of shitty, except it's just supposed to take time. Because if someone else wants to build something, they're literally standing behind you in line. You have to line up for things.
Right. Wait, so this is online?
This is online, yeah. The game's online. All these things are servers that we're in and everything.
Wow.
And these are private servers?
No. And there's griefing is allowed. And after this beta test, they have come out and said, we need to deal with our griefing policies because people were a bit too crazy. They get into towns with a gun turret and blow everything up.
So it's an online multiplayer game.
And I'm currently flying on sushi.
You're flying on sushi. I join a server.
Well, you just go to a town.
You go to a town, and then I'm grouped with other people
that are at the same town.
And our goal.
And you can go to any town. You can just get in the subway and go to another town.
And our goal is to build.
Yes.
And so we, as friends, all griefers, mine things.
And you can't necessarily see everyone either. Remember that. Okay. So it might be quite isolating, even though there's 100 people in the town.
And then you go to the shop to make the thing and do a sliding puzzle.
Well, that sliding puzzle then makes the sign. You can then place the building, and the building will build.
Yep.
And then there's things like if you build a power generator, it's like it's a treadmill, so you've got to get in it and run on it. And I think I got in trouble once because I ran on the treadmill when we already had max power, and that is wasteful.
Oh, okay. So was another player saying that?
No, the game, because the game is this is like Soviet communism themed and everything. Like, if I want to do something, I've got to get a license for it.
Really?
I've got to you get ranked in toil. Everything is for the good of, and everyone has to work together.
But you can see them.
Even so, so you go to the union shop. Go to the union shop to get like a pickaxe or a chainsaw or something to work with. I'm going to go get my tools. I've got tickets for tools. They give me ration tickets every day. Great, great, great. go to the workshop, get something with my ration tickets, and it's like, here, comrade. They're all comrades, like it's bourgeoisie and all that sort of thing. It's like they just use a straight up language. It's not trying to pretend it's not Soviet. He goes, I can get you into black market. And then with your own real money, well, not real money, but the character's real money.
So you're not like dropping down cash into the
Some
game.
people have implied that this is supposed to be free to play. I'm pretty sure it's just a purchase. It's going to be a purchasable game, but we'll check with that. But so I can use my money at any time to buy off the black market imported foreign tools, which are much better than our tools. But the truth is, I'm spending my own money to get things to make me a more efficient worker.
Okay, is there a level?
Yes.
Because the level sounds like it's counter. Like why should one worker be more than the other worker? There needs to be a town level. That's what this game is.
No, it has.
Okay,
You work on the town, you're supposed to get the town up as much as possible. And then there's like all these monsters walking around that you've seen. And some of them are hostile, and some of them, like those big guys, aren't really hostile.
Yeah.
Then I joined this town one day, and one was attacking us, and they just killed it. It fell down, crushed half the town.
What?
It's mineable.
What?
We then all ran with our pickaxes towards this corpse and just started mining the shit out of it.
And this keeps running while you're offline. Like, it's a persistent world.
As far as I'm aware.
So I could log in the morning, and overnight we were attacked by a thing.
Yeah, although I don't think the big things will attack you unless you attack them.
Okay.
Because I haven't seen one of them attack without. There's these little flying things around. They'll attack, but I haven't seen them destroy the town or anything.
Yeah.
So, although I have seen them attack a few bits of equipment, so I think those are... It's weird. It's so
Sounds
weird.
amazing. I'm super fascinated.
I
love weird things.
Well, it's beautiful.
So,
like
does it run
can you have
okay?
private towns?
No.
So anyone could join.
They're talking about. They said they weren't going to do it, and now they're up in the air because these betas they're really obviously testing things because it's a strange balance. Because in some ways, I think all the things that are anti-fun about it are the point, and the anti-fun isn't necessarily not fun. Like I probably put in like 4 or 5 hours into this over the weekend, and I was busy.
I love griefing when griefing is part of the game. Like that's when I was last playing Conan, and I had griefing.
One of the things that was in there that people weren't apparently learning to understand, you can put traps, and then you can, I suppose they're like little jails, and if you see someone doing something wrong, you can point at them and blow your whistle and report them.
Can you do it even if they have done something wrong?
I guess so. It's so interesting and it's so fun. And like, it's not perfect. So part of the server infrastructure is if you want to like pick up an item, you obviously push the button, it sends it to the server, they go, yes, you're allowed to pick it up, it comes back. Yeah. So especially when I was playing when other things were running on the network, so I'd like go, I'm going to pick up that ore.
Okay.
And then it disappeared from my hands because another player ran up and picked it up in that time. And you didn't even see them run up because, as I say, you can't see everyone all the time. So someone just sort of appears in front of you and steals your shit. And you're like,
I'm a bit surprised by that because MMOs have solved that one. Because MMOs have latency with nodes to go after, and they work fine. They just mask it with a little animation. And if someone does beat you in, they just sort of take it instead. But there's at least...
that's what's happening, yeah.
But at least it's like, chip, 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 chip. Okay, pick it up.
Yeah. And it's still basically the same thing, it's just a different animation. Yeah. So it's sort of solved, but the thing is you can't see someone approach.
Oh, because they don't have you have to use the whistle to see the people. Yeah. Okay.
Well, you don't have to, but they sort of phase in and out of existence. I think that's a technical limitation, and they've sort of made it a choice, but I do wonder what came first. So it's not super responsive with that stuff. But I mean, like, it's all physics driven and stuff. Like, we broke open like a giant... they were like big candy balls in space, and we knocked one open and it was full of resources, so we were just there throwing them out, and people at the bottom were picking them up and putting them on the train, like, here, take the ore everyone, let's work together for the great of the country.
And what happens if you build a town? You just have a town.
Basically it seems that you just keep expanding the town.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's an end game or if there's anything major you can build, if they're hiding that. Like all these little structures we're running to. So there's the sushi one, there's that red man. I probably saw about 5. But then other people saw ones that I never saw, like apparently a giant blue pig with an apple in its mouth. And the first one I saw, which unfortunately I don't have footage of, was Trip to the Moon. It had like the moon with a face with the rocket sticking out of the side of it. So they're direct references to history and culture and art. And
I wonder if that's how they're going to expand it. They'll just keep adding random shit.
It's also such a weird thing. So they've got these quite organic-ish things to dig through. And then when you've got a pickaxe, it just takes a hunk out of it. So, okay, they're just divided into bricks. No, they're not. You can cut circles, you can do stairs, you can put platforms through it. It's really organic. It's like they chunk, like, I don't know if it's some sort of voxel based with how they've built the structures, but like it's really good destruction. I can blow shit up with dynamite. It's really weird and impressive. And really...
run okay? Because it like looks super graphically intensive.
Well, it is and it isn't. I mean, it's striking, but you think about like the entire environment here is an endless plane.
It's also pretty low poly. They've just got some nice shaders on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it constantly, like, it has a day-night system and it's sort of different... Well, it's not so, I suppose it's different weather, but it's more colours of things. It's not like I haven't seen it rain.
The comrade's pickaxe.
Oh, yeah. And you got a jetpack, James.
I like that vista of being able to see your town construction as
well.
well.
Everything's always physically in the same area. Like, you have to... Sometimes you have to get on the train to get to where you're mining, because it might be far away and there's all that sinking... Because basically you're surrounded by, like, a sinkiness, like a void.
Yeah.
And that's, like, the big bad sort of the game, and you're keeping it at bay, and you're...
What's the deal here with this? There's... On the ground, there's markings.
Oh, that's what I want to say. Yeah, the town is sort of laid out like Dogville. The last one Trier film. So yeah, it's like, those are all our warehouses. Just these markings on the ground. And yeah, like that's a queuing line for the union shop. It is... Like, it's not without its flaws, I say. Like, latency issues, the multiplayer. I really wish I could just see the kids running everywhere. I think it would be better. It is also just confounding. Like, I kept getting in a gun turret and, like, it had no bullets. I had to go craft the bullets somewhere. I don't know what I had to do. It's like, you keep trying to use things as, you need a license for that. It's like, well, where do I get the license? Go to the town hall. Oh, your toil is... I don't understand what's going on. But at the same point, I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
They don't want to over-explain it because... No, your job at the moment is you just toil in the mines. That's what you are. You're you're a child slave working in the mines.
Is everyone a child?
Yep.
Can you design your own child?
And I think everyone's a girl too.
Can you choose your hair?
No, there's different costumes. So you can put a rag in your hair.
Okay.
That's pretty good. I've got a little mining costume. I put that on sometimes.
I like customizing.
And everyone just looks a little sad.
But do you think you'll keep playing it?
Well, yeah, if they have another beta, I'll definitely be in that.
Oh, so it's closed now. Damn.
Yeah, it starts today.
What's it called again?
The Tomorrow Children.
Okay, cool.
By Q Games.
So this was PC?
Makers of the Pixel Junk series.
Was this PC?
No, this is PS4.
PS4.
Oh, really?
As far as I know, it's a PS4 exclusive.
Man, I want to play.
That looks great.
Yeah, it's... As I said, and I've played some fucking weird games, and this game just... It's not that it's the weirdest game. It's the weirdest while still being a compelling game. And that's the difference. Like, I play plenty of weird shit. It's like, oh, here's a banana, and you got to click on it 17 times, and then it says you win. But then the win becomes your new character, and you got to fight Satan. It's like, okay, it doesn't necessarily mean it's an interesting weird.
Yeah,
this is interesting weird, and I really want to find out why they made a lot of their choices.
The online social stuff sounds really fascinating to me. I love stuff like that.
Yeah, so good and weird. Okay, let's stop it with that. Anything you've been playing, James?
I've been playing 5, The Guardians of David.
You said that weird. Was that just so I could remember which one to click on?
Yeah, so I was being articulate so you could find it.
Oh, okay.
So this one popped up on my...
On your favourite Christian message board.
My favourite Christian message board. Well, it popped up in my Steam recommended list. And I had a look at it. I was like, okay, it's like a kind of action RPG. It looked okay. I was looking at like the setting. And I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of like biblical stuff. And then I realized it's actually a full-on Christian game. So it's like the developer is Christian. It's a Christian story. It's a Bible story. All the characters are named after characters in the Bible. They're like, no, we're going to tell a Bible story.
Like James and Paul and
James and Anais. Oh, no. Now it's awkward.
Oh, who's had hippie parents now?
I do. Big
time. Okay, so on this, like when I first started playing it, like, okay, this is a pretty standard action RPG. Like, you've got, your character, you're going around hitting things. It generally feels, like, well-made for an action RPG. Like, it doesn't look amazing, but it's, I'd put it somewhere around Titan Quest.
No, I was going to say this looks pre-Titan Quest.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to say around Titan Quest.
What, in the length of the universe?
The length of the universe. Look, We've got Jesus, we've got Titan Quest, we've got us.
And it's much closer to Titan Quest. I'm not even trying to have a go at it there.
No.
I just the Titan Quest had much better models than this.
But yeah, it's serviceable.
Yeah, probably the landscape's probably similar.
Anyway, so play it, and then it started to do some kind of interesting things.
What was interesting, James?
It has multiple characters, but you can swap at any time.
Anytime you can swap.
But no, it's actually cool. It actually made me think, if I was playing Diablo, think of like you're playing Diablo 3 because you love Diablo 3.
Actually, I do.
And you actually had 5 characters at once. You can just swap whenever you want.
Do you like morph between them, or are they all with you and you swap?
It's the hotkey.
No, I mean, like, do you change into that character?
They're with you. So you're moving as a party.
So you're moving as a party of 5.
Yeah. You are. Whoa.
And then you can take control of any of those characters at any one time.
Do they have different skills?
Yeah, all completely different.
Okay.
And they work like bots when you're not
Yeah, they
controlling
work
them?
with bots and perfectly serviceable bots. Like, they do the job. They kept me alive. If I wanted to be an archer, I go, cool, I want to be the archer now. I'm going to shoot for a bit. It's like, I want to be tank, so I'll get my shield and my thing, and I do that. It was good. I actually really enjoyed it, and I thought that in another action RPG I'd actually really like. So, that's way harsher than I
In another game, this would be a good mechanic.
Because I wanted to get to the thing that really impressed me with this. It's like I've always been fascinated with Bible games. Like, I like it as a setting.
Yeah,
I think it's like
Noah's Ark 3D.
Well, that was it.
Sunday Fun Day.
And like, not to be like a jerk about it, I'm going to use the word lore or legend.
You mean Lord?
Lord, our Lord. Well, those stories. If you take away like the religious part of it, they're just like, it's a good fantasy setting. Like there's kind of like cool armor to wear, and there's like bushes to burn, like all kinds of Jesus-y shit. I'm not selling you, am I?
No.
It is an interesting setting. Well, for me, like, I find it interesting. And whenever I play a Bible game, they'll often, like, you get into it and it's like, oh, but do you want to love Jesus? And they'll be like all preachy.
Yeah.
This doesn't do that. It doesn't do that at all.
Because it realizes you'll come to that conclusion on your own.
So what it'll do...
Just wait. So you're fighting Goliath here.
Yes.
When you don't have a sling. So you just have to die here because you're not rightfully the one to kill him.
I thought this was actually probably the first boss fight. The second boss fight. And I thought this was a bit weak because I do think of the sling when it comes to David and Goliath. You don't use the sling until like a cinematic at the end.
Oh.
Yeah. So there is a sling, but you don't. Yeah.
Who can forget the classic Goliath power charge from the Bible?
So
before he did pause and power up before thrusting forth.
So they have these.
He telegraphed his attack cleanly.
The Lord saith.
And so say we.
So they have these things called caches around the levels.
Yeah.
And you can find them, and they give you a little bit of trivia about the game.
Mm-hmm.
And they're normally about how the game has been adapted from the Bible. So it might say this particular character you're walking up to was mentioned in the Bible, but there wasn't a lot of detail, so we kind of fleshed it out. Or it might give you a little bit of trivia about this particular person, whatever. Then you can click a button, and you can see the verse. That's the most Bible-y thing it does. Apart from that, it pretty much plays it straight.
Just references.
It's
I can dig references.
Yeah, and I really appreciate it. They're like, we're gonna use the names, we're gonna use the cities, we're gonna use the people, but we're just gonna tell a story. And it's the first Christian game I've played that I feel is accessible to non-believers.
El Shaddai, Ascension of the Metatron,
I didn't play that one. So, yes, maybe I've played that one instead.
So what's your favourite Bible game?
I've never played one.
That's because most of them are kind of terrible.
There was a Bible quiz game I was playing.
I do really like when you click the characters, they have a little cry, and it'll be like, for the Lord, or the Lord will guide me. But like the context of them saying it, like the people recording it, like you can tell it's like very meaningful to them. Yeah. Because it's like, I believe in Lord, I'm not a filthy
Do any of them go like, man shall not ride with another man as he does woman?
No, they don't. They don't go down that
No
road.
Tattoos or shellfish.
But actually, there's something. I guess it's like if you're playing something which is set like Game of Thrones, but the person that wrote it honestly believed it was true.
Right.
And there's a certain feeling that comes along with it.
True. And this week's Game of Thrones, what a spoiler!
I haven't watched it or played it.
You played it?
Yeah, I don't play it. Game of Thrones. Actually,
Telltale of Thrones?
Oh, you get these these comics that pop up. So this is when they take down Goliath. But this is how they tell a lot of the in-between story.
Comic cinematics are when you can't afford to do a cinematic.
No, they do voice them.
That's alright.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a better choice than like a real awkward in-game character. It's like, great work, David. Yeah, draw a comic. It's much better. I know this isn't bad. It's just the cheap way out. It's good.
Honestly, for like it isn't always just combat. There's some stealthy areas that
so is this
didn't shit me.
Is this money pay?
Yeah, $20.
$20.
Yeah. It's a perfectly serviceable action RPG, and if you're a Christian and you want a Christian game,
I think I've got like 70 like spare copies of Titan Quest lying around.
But then that's not speaking to you. If you're a Christian,
it's a better game.
And there's been so many terrible Christian games.
Name 6.
Name 6. Left Behind.
Yep, that's the first one I was thinking of. Noah's Ark 3D.
Noah's Ark 3D.
Sunday Funday.
Sunday Funday Bible quotes on my DS.
Yeah. We're almost there.
What's another terrible Bible game?
I'm
not helping anymore.
Like, many even existed.
No,
no, there's heat. There's a whole subgenre.
And this is what kind of shits me, because it is a very rich source of story, but no one ever does a good one. And it just feels like
fresh.
There we go, feels fresh. And I feel like it feels like it's such a waste.
You one left.
I thought that was 6.
That was 5.
Oh god, I don't know. Sunday Funday again.
That game's not even that bad.
What's the one you said before?
What?
S?
Sunday Funday?
No, the one you said that I hadn't played.
You can't put El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron on there.
El Shaddai, that one.
It's great. It's very good. So, James' recommendation, go play El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron or Titan's Quest. No, actually, and the changing character thing is good.
Yeah, good.
We could call it the 3 Vikings of Titan Quest. We could.
Sure.
We could say all sorts of things. What cross games would you call it?
No idea. You lost me.
What about
You just zone out there.
What about Snake meets Monkey Island? I mean, it doesn't mean anything, but it works.
I was very disappointed when I went and saw Passion of the Christ, because I wanted it to be a good Christian movie. Like, I wanted to go into it and say, you know what? Okay, Christianity, you got stories. Give me one. And then it was a shit movie. It was terrible.
I'll give you something.
What have you got?
I'm going to bring up the game that I teased last week.
Oh, that's right. You were playing.
I was playing Lego City Undercover.
Okay. How much better is it than GTA 5?
It's kind of look like GTA.
Well, I mean, it's GTA thing. It's an open world game. You get in vehicles, drive around. I thought first thing I should try to show off is running over people. They'll try to dive out of the way, but
they'll try.
No, you can just run over them.
Oh, you can? Nice.
Yeah. It I mean, there's no you can't kill civilians, but
that's okay. I can.
Yeah. And the fact that it doesn't just totally pull its punches is good.
The environment's nice.
Yeah, it's
nice.
I like the way that it's
sorry, police business. It's just how they get around your car theft.
I love the way the cars break apart when you ram them into each other.
The engine's got a little bit of
it's got all these really nice touches.
Is that in San Fran?
It's just set in a San Fran styled Legoopolis. I'll just make that up. It seems fair enough to me.
Seems right.
Yeah. So generally, I'm really, really enjoying the game.
Mm-hmm.
The worst parts of it are actually the worst parts of all the other Lego games, which is there's just so many shit bits around to collect, and make sure you break apart everything and collect the blocks. I don't care. That's not fun. What's fun is going on a chase. What's fun is doing a bunch of platforming to find a secret area. What's fun is exploring. It's it's not fun to just walk up to everything and hit it and then wait for all the blocks to fall and then pick up the blocks. It's they could just delete that from the game and the game would be better for it. But otherwise, generally really fun. The worst part is that lots and lots of things are gated sort of like most games, but Metroidvania or whatever, where it's look, you can see a thing that you can do, but it literally will say you don't have the ability to do this yet. I'm doing a little sliding bug here. And that just kind of shits you when you're in an area and there's literally dozens of things you can't do yet until you've progressed further in the story. I just want the button that undoes all that shit because that will be more fun. And then all the story missions, you play them and they're also full of things like that. So it's made to replay, but it's also just frustrating that you can't even you can't even cheese your way around it because there it's just a locked thing. It's like, there's no way of me working out what to do without the power. It's just like, no, you can't step on this thing and push A until you've done a little bit more. Which is just lengthening the game in a way that I don't think is necessary.
Well, how big is the world?
I don't know, I haven't seen all of it.
Okay, so...
I've done the city, I'm out in the countryside here. It's all streaming in the open area. When you go into missions, then it loads. I don't know if they've improved the loading times, but this is a game that's famously known for bad loading times. And it's not too bad. Probably when you first load the game, probably like 40 seconds.
Okay. Wait, what is it on? Console?
This is on Wii U.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and that's loading the open world. And then, probably, 20 to 30 to load most areas. It didn't seem really bad at all. I didn't have a problem with it. Especially since you spend most of the time in the open world and there's no loading in that at all.
What kind of cars can you steal? I mean, take for police business.
It's a pretty wide gamut of, from sports cars to ice cream trucks to police vehicles to emergency vehicles.
Do you get any kind of... Like, if you get the fire truck, do you go do fire missions?
I have not got in a service vehicle like that yet. I've only put in a few hours, done a few missions, and just fucked around a little bit. But James, the most exciting thing for you can swap characters at any time.
Oh, really?
You can
with
be
a function key?
Yeah. It's actually, like, the triggers switch between, so I've switched into my burglar costume, so I can now break open in this store.
But you're a policeman.
Yeah, but I can also be a burglar. I'm doing it on police business. And it's got all that sort of open world, just bullshit mini games everywhere. Like you go to the gym, it's like, so
it's like GTA, like
it's like, pump iron, but you don't get strength. You just get more bits to pick up.
Do you get a call from Nico? Do you get a call from Nico?
Hey, you mean cousin Roman? Because he called, hey cousin.
Oh yeah, sorry, cousin. Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah. Hey cousin.
Let's go bowling. I haven't gone bowling. I don't know if I can go bowling. I really like the world. I wish it was just that little bit less of a kid's game. Because it's obviously a kid's game.
Yeah.
So, like, when there's combat, it's literally, I hit the attack button once and then I hit the arrest button. But the humor is, mainly references for my generation.
Well, from what I remember of the cinematics from this, it was like a cop show.
Yep. So there's got, I went and did a prison mission before this, and it's all Shawshank.
Oh, okay.
Straight up to, at one point, you go into the administrator's office.
Now I'm thinking about Lego Shawshank.
Well, this is pretty much it. You go into his office, you lock him in the bathroom, and then you turn on the record player and play it around the prison.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
like, and there's a character. He's very wise. He said, and his name is Freeman. It's like, no, I'm not that free. And like, it's lame and it's very straight, but it made me smile. Yeah. I enjoyed it. So and it's like, it's a big world of things to explore and play around with, which is what I like. I just don't like being gated so much.
Is there co-op?
No, I don't think so.
That seems like a mistake. Isn't that a big thing with these Lego games? You play with your kids?
Yeah, but also all the other Lego games are like scene per scene. Yeah. This is a whole, other than the mission levels, it's open world.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to go careening off this way. What does the other character do? I mean, you can split screen, but then that's another thing to do. Yeah. And then if you're in a GTA-sized map and there's people on either side of it, the worlds don't stream that way. So, you'd probably need to do it online, and they didn't really have online when this started. Well, they did, but this is Nintendo games, so whatever. Throwing some shit.
So
up.
it fills that hole of like, we're going to make a GTA for younger kids, like have similar going around exploring, getting in cars, do some different missions with less murder,
and a bit of it still lacks creativity. Which
has always been really weird.
Which is always, I mean, it's because of the dick problem that we've spoken about before.
What?
Oh, the dicks have crushed several Lego games.
Wait, what?
Dick detection is when they had Lego Online.
Yeah.
Like 90+% of their resources was combating dicks.
Okay.
They built an algorithm to detect dicks, so people became better at building more impressive dicks that weren't detected by the algorithm. So they literally had to start employing an army of people to moderate every bit of user-created content to make sure there were no dicks in it. Because you can't have a Lego game, have a kid log into it, then their parents look over their shoulder and see a giant forest of dicks.
That's funny.
Minecraft doesn't have this problem because it was never the dickless game. The first thing ever created in Minecraft, I believe it's in Guinness World Record. The quickest dick ever created was in Minecraft. No, I made that up. But it sounds...
But I believe it.
I believe it. I stand by my convictions.
Lego came from that that start of being a kid's product. So parents have an expectation that if you Lego,
that it's dickless. Yeah.
In Minecraft's more if you bought your kid a block of Lego
in the shape of a dick.
In the shape, well, the kid could turn it into a dick.
No. It just comes in that shape. And you're like, it was accidental. Like it just happened to be packed in the packet like that. Like, I guess
in the infinite multiverse somewhere.
I guess this can happen. So yeah, I enjoyed it, and it's now on Nintendo's like player collection shit. Okay. So it's a bit cheaper. Did it ever come to non-Nintendo? No, it never came to anything else. It does have a little bit of gamepad functionality, but not enough that you couldn't port it. Yeah, they just didn't. Okay. Shall we do some news of some sort?
Sure.
Okay. Overwatch has been doing quite well.
Yeah.
Last count, over 7 million players are already involved, which is pretty good for, what are we, week and a half? 2 weeks?
The addiction is real.
How are you going with PC version?
I'm loving it.
Really? Because I'm like, so whenever I load up the PC version, I play for like half a match. I'm like, fuck this, going back to console.
Yeah, like, I hate
it must be hard to suck.
I just have more fun. I just enjoy my time more on console. Yeah. It's funny that like this is like your now PC Master Race.
Yes.
This actually ties into the next part of the Overwatch news, that they've said that they're actually balancing the console and PC versions separately. Because the player bases are so different.
Yeah.
Which also ties into they're looking at crossplay.
Really?
But only between PS4 and Xbox.
Really?
Yeah, they don't know.
I thought you were going to say like Xbox
they don't know if they can do it.
PC or something.
No, because they're balancing them separately. PC is just separate. They're not going to put them against each other. The very first, if it becomes the first PS4 and Xbone crossplay game, that would be amazing.
It could do.
Yeah. Because, I mean, everything, like, okay, Rocket League has it. Although I'm not sure if everything's live and working with that yet. It's going to be. But there's PC as well. I mean,
and they're
PC
like a
is
small
the
studio, whereas Blizzard's like massive. So they've got the resources to do it. So it could happen.
Or there might be more reasons to fight them in doing it, because it's all right if if we just let a little guy do it, it's fine. Yeah. But if we let the big guys do it, everyone will do it.
Yeah, suddenly this idea of Xbox Live and PlayStation Network start to be a bit muddy.
Vivendi has hostily taken over. That was a weird sentence. Gameloft, which is also owned by the same parent company as Ubisoft, because they're also making strong moves and have been for a while on trying to purchase Ubisoft.
Really?
Hostilely.
I wonder what that means, because there's Gameloft in Brisbane.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means for Gameloft.
Because I mean, shutting down a few, they shut down one in New Zealand and one somewhere else.
And apparently they bought the shares, so they just took it over that way, and then they just sent all the employees a letter. And everyone was like, not like a bad letter, just say welcome to your new overlords.
Like I don't know how stable jobs are at Gameloft, full stop anyway. Yeah. So I don't know if you work at Gameloft, this probably isn't like this major upset of your job stability.
Yeah.
Maybe more if you're management.
Yes, yeah. If you're on the ground, you could lose your job like that. Yeah.
Okay, Starbreeze, speaking of business stuff, has bought the IP of Payday, which was pretty exciting because not only are they therefore announcing Payday 3, but they're also kind of against the shit that has gone down with Payday 2 and the microtransactions, and there's no more microtransactions on Payday 2. That said, there's still $140 US worth of microtransactions you can still buy in DLC. So they're not microtransactions, but the DLC still costs a fuckload of money.
Yeah, but it's just more like at what point is it no longer a microtransaction? Like, where do you draw that line? Like, what makes it micro?
I think when it's temporary.
Yeah, consumable, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. And bullshit. Some very exciting news for James. And we've even got some footage. We've had the new announcement.
Don't do it.
Actually, I may not have copied the footage. Oh, you're lucky.
Oh, no.
I didn't. I forgot to. New Metal Gear Solid announced! It's Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. Metal Gear Solid 3. One of the favorite ones. One of the top 5. Yep. One of the top 5 Metal Gear games, James.
Yes.
Top 5, 6, 8. Yeah. Pachinko machine.
You motherfucker.
Really?
Like, the real kick in the balls of this one is they've got the video.
Oh yeah,
showing it's like the fight between Naked Snake and Boss. It's like that final scene, and it's like all rendered beautifully on pachinko machines.
Really?
And the end's there.
Wow.
Now, before the show, James was asking me why I had scotch in the corner.
Yes, why do you have scotch in the corner, Paul?
No reason, just want some scotch. I thought I'd really liven up the second half of the show.
Yeah. Well, you didn't have to drive.
Shoulder monkey, hey?
Yeah.
Do it.
Batch 27, blended malt scotch whiskey.
Yeah, it's actually...
Delicious. Actually, no, I have had some before, it's not bad.
It's both cheap and my favourite.
Yeah.
Or cheapish.
Cheapish.
No alcohol is cheap in
for
Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, should we look at some eye candy, some games?
Yeah, let's look at some stuff.
Okay. First up, let's bring up a game from one of my favourite developers. Not that all their games are brilliant, but they're all interesting. And sometimes they do sequels. This is Ace Team, and they've decided to do a sequel to Rock of Ages, which is their weird tower defense, marble madnessy art history game. And basically, from what I can tell of the trailer, it's more of the same but prettier. And that's fine, because it's been a few years since I played the first one.
Can you remind me what this game is?
Okay, so you are...
Look at that
you
elephant.
actually...
So happy.
I think your character is actually Sisyphus. And
Sisyphus?
yeah, you know, he has to push the boulder up the hill in Hades for all eternity.
No.
Every time he gets to the top, it rolls back down.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you are... Well, actually, no, you are the boulder, but you escape from Sisyphus.
Really?
So, yeah.
Wow.
So basically, these big levels, your job is to roll down them with enough velocity at the bottom to destroy a keep
Oh,
for you to escape the area.
that's a really cool concept.
Yeah, it's interesting and weird, and so it becomes... And then when you're fighting other people, you have to lay traps to stop their ball rolling down at full velocity.
What?
And you can destroy their boulder as well before it even gets there.
That's cool.
I noticed in the multiplayer there, one of them has a cube ball. Maybe not
Balls
the best.
don't work like that.
Maybe not the best choice. It's now 40% less historically accurate, which is fantastic. And the cutout style was always really Monty Python-y. But check this out. And sorry, this is only for the video viewers, so go check it out. They're showing off some of their new art styles and renderers. And bit Vincent Van Gogh, that's pretty fucking
That looks
cool.
good.
That is cool.
Yeah. Ace Team, always cool art and interesting games.
Wow.
So if you don't know, that's like Xenoclash and...
It's very Monty Python.
Yeah, they love the Python references. Okay, so Rock of Ages 2
looks
should be
good.
later
Nice.
this year.
What's that on?
Probably on everything.
Yeah.
I whatever. Okay.
It's on video game.
Okay, let's look at Deformers, which should be under D on my thing. There it is, not under D. It's made by Ready at Dawn. The last game Ready at Dawn made was The Order. What, 1786 million,
Wait, did
whatever
this
it
get
is.
announced today?
A couple of days ago.
Okay.
This is
This is as far from The Order as you can possibly get.
when they decided to make the fun game.
Yeah, it said, instead of let's be the super cinematic thing with barely any gameplay, let's just make the silly party multiplayer game that's bright and colourful and doesn't need to make that much sense.
This does look like a big internal backlash
Yeah.
from what the order was.
Well, it doesn't need to be backlash, but it's like, I think it's because that took the Order was a long development period and it didn't pay off.
No.
I mean, like they might have because it was funded by Sony, I believe. So it's like, okay, maybe it wasn't a loss to them, but you certainly like when you've spent 4 years working on ear textures, probably something like this is a real relief.
Yeah, like this just looks fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna bash my friends, throw them around.
Cool.
It's like a Mario Party game turned into
A game that's
a real
fun.
game. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Do you like Mario Party?
Imagine that.
I do.
Mm.
What?
Mm.
But only for short amounts of time.
Do you like the Mario Party metagame?
Yeah. Wait.
Do you like the board game? You like the mini games?
The mini games.
Does the board game suck?
I love the board
Yeah.
game.
Then we're fine.
Okay.
They ruined it because now you all move together. What's the point?
What's the point, indeed?
Mm.
Yeah, so good when you could get so angry so quickly.
Mhm.
I'm a little jealous of your whiskey.
Finish your water and you can have
I will
some.
have some.
But you're driving, so not very
I
much.
can have one.
He dies.
Yeah.
I'm cutting out me saying you can have it.
You're an enabler,
No,
Paul.
you're good.
Okay. Let's look at Pan Pan.
What is Pan Pan?
I don't really know. Pan Pan is being made by the studio, which we know more for Sheltered and Paws now, which are those animal simulation, well, not simulation, sort of animal puzzly things. Which Might and Delight is the company there. This is just you crash landed on an alien world and you're trying to put your ship back together. So it's a little adventure-y, puzzly exploration game.
Pigman-y?
Yeah, I was
Little
thinking that.
Pikmin-y
Pikmin, the Pikmin?
crossed with Monument Valley.
Okay.
Like instead of having like it's the same sort of hues and geometric world without like the fixed camera angles. And I just think it looks pretty.
It does look nice.
pretty.
Yeah. I was also like, this could probably work on tablet, but I'll play it on PC because that's me. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Oh no, it's just like it just looks pretty.
pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, listeners.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry for us just saying it looks pretty.
Monument Valley. Monument Valley crossed with Pikmin, I guess.
Monument Valley crossed with Little Big Adventure 2.
There you go.
There we go.
There's a thing.
Everything's
And
cool
Nobby
when
Nobby
I
Boy.
say it. Okay, let's finish going through the games I want to show off. So first up, I'm going to show a game which isn't new. This is Wonder Boy 3. Gotta make sure I get everything.
Talking about it.
So Wonder Boy 3, back Genesis Day, or is it on Master System Day? Sorry. Yeah, bit of a cult hit. The Wonder Boy and Monsterland series, pretty cool. So announced this week was Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap, and this is a remake of Wonder Boy 3, which has been done in now like a chibi art style, which looks pretty sweet.
Wow, animation, that's nice.
Yeah. It's like, that's pretty... I like it. But
Yes.
I have a counter offer for you. Because if you remember, there was a game called Flying Hamster 2, which was tried to be Kickstarter.
Yeah, I remember that thing.
And then the game got basically picked up and the old director of the Wonder Boy series came on. And the game was renamed into Monster Boy. And Monster Boy, and I think the first, and the Wizard of Booze, and then they changed that title because it's a terrible title. So now it's And the Cursed Kingdom, which is super generic. Yeah. So now we've got like an actual new, basically, Wonder Boy game made by the creator versus a really cool looking recreation of Wonder Boy 3, but only one can win in this battle. So, James.
I'm going for recreation.
You're going for you like the chibi art style?
The chibi art style, like that.
It is very sweet.
I think because this one, there's a lot of animation, which is, I guess, like they're squishing it, or like it's like static images that they're applying animation to. Where the other one just was like all beautifully animated, and just this one's a little bit, I'm going to say, cheaper. Just the less effort they have to go into doing it than hand drawing everything, but it's still good. Like it still looks really good.
Okay, Anais, which one will you throw to the wolves, to the lions, to the very Monster Boy?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's down to me to decide.
No, but
I said throw this to the lions.
Oh, you're throwing it to the lions.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fine. Well,
Wonder Boy. Looks cute.
fuck off, Monster Boy.
Which one are you going to pick, though?
It doesn't matter.
Did you get 2 votes?
No. I'll go by committee. I abstain unless I'm needed.
What? Sorry. I just... Never mind.
You were thinking about sexual intercourse, weren't you?
No, that's just like your policy.
I'm
like, don't worry, ladies. I abstain unless I'm needed.
I stand to the side unless my specific set of skills are required. Okay. Which brings us to our last couple, which moves on to Kickstarter time. So what's more exciting Kickstarter than something that's trying to like excite us with something, a license we already know? And that's why we're getting a new Fable, but it's a card game.
Make it stop. I love Fable and they're ruining everything.
I actually was really liking the Fable Heroes. Like, I like the look of it. I like the idea of it. That's what it's called, wasn't it? The asynchronous one? The one that was cancelled.
Close enough.
Yeah, something like that.
Fable Legends.
That was it. Fable Legends. I thought it was a cool sounding idea. Apparently it wasn't.
How
Nice.
about another card game that just looks pretty much like Magic, or actually probably close to the Hearthstone because it's cut down a bit.
We've got Hearthstone. We kind of got it solved.
So this isn't Microsoft, right? These are X.
These are ex-Lionhead guys.
How do they get the IP?
I don't know if Microsoft owns the IP.
Yeah, true.
No, maybe Lionhead has it.
Yeah, or maybe they made a deal.
Look, if they're going after Kickstarter, I don't know how many people who love Fable are going to get excited about the idea of there being a card game that's Fable.
Yeah.
What about people that love card games?
But they have Hearthstone.
Yeah.
And a million others.
If they were like Fable 4, I'd be like, hell yeah, take no money. But no, not for a card game.
I wouldn't kickstart Fable 4.
I would. That's where all my money.
There's an Elder Scrolls card game coming as well. We're good.
Fable games are already so cut down by what it's presented as. Like, I don't understand why anyone, like, because people refer to them sometimes as, like, open. Like, no, they're, like, a bunch of small corridors between a few small hubs. Like, that's the entire thing.
But I can eat chickens.
They can get lots of wives.
And I guess...
Now imagine that with 1/10 of the budget.
Yeah.
And you got Fable 4 on Kickstarter.
So really one wife?
Only one wife. Okay. Which brings us to our last look at today and our last Kickstarter, which is called Moonlighter. Now, Moonlighter sort of plays with an idea that's been going around recently with things like the weapon shop. What's the Racketeer, the weapon shop game, and sort of these ideas where you are playing like an NPC in a classic RPG. So this one sort of goes, it takes that twist and twists it back because you're a shopkeeper who sells all the goods to the adventurers. Except, how do you get them goods? Well, at night when you're not open the shop, you sneak into dungeons and get all the funnels. So it's like now that you've got all your shopkeeper things, now I'm going to make an adventure game out of that.
I do like the idea of the shopkeeper needs to keep some kind of demand.
Yeah.
So he's got to go into the dungeon like shit. I got to like get like he's racketing the monsters in. It's like he's like orchestrating this whole thing. He's creating the demand for heroes.
Cool concept.
Yeah, I think it's a fun setting for it, and it lets them sort of play with those sort of economy ideas. And like basically, what's the difference between you going up to a shopkeeper and selling the stuff you got on an adventure versus you selling the shit to adventurers to get money so you can go buy a new sword to get... It's basically still just a Zelda-style adventure game, but with a fun concept twist. And the dungeons look very Zelda 1 sort of in design, but with cool pixel art.
I like
Are you coming around on pixel art now?
She just doesn't like...
fully detailed.
You just hate shit pixel art.
Yeah.
And pixel art that's like Remedy.
Which one's Remedy?
The one we played last week.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah.
Notice I separated that from her
Did you find your last piece of the heart?
No, fuck that game.
You're done.
I'm done. I had my piece. I did my thing. Okay, so I didn't even bother saying a price with Fable, but you know, look it up if you want. If you want to back Moonlighter, if you want a copy of the game, that is at $12. Is that US? Yeah, it looks US. Whatever. Looks like a pretty game. I like pretty games.
You're a pretty game.
Thank you. Shall we talk about some other games we played?
Yes.
Ooh, I've got so many games to talk about. Do you want to talk about one of your games?
Well, mine will be quite short.
Okay.
I played...
That's what she said. Because you are quite short. It's not a bad thing.
Is it? Is it, Paul?
I didn't even notice until we were like 20.
It's true. You're like, hey, that James guy's not that tall.
Yeah, I saw a photo of us standing there together and I went, hey, he's shorter than me.
So...
By like 2 feet.
I picked up a little game. I should have actually checked if it was paid or free. I can't remember.
But your torso is about the same as me.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Where am I?
But you're tall.
And Paul.
I'm not that tall anymore.
Really?
When I was in high school, I was tall. Now the high school kids go over me. Too much chicken and the hormones.
So this game.
Yeah, anyway. So when I saw this, I immediately got thoughts of WarioWare.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of micro games that it throws at you in quick succession. So we have 4 games on the screen, and each of them will control differently. Mm-hmm. And there's a few games. I feel like I've played it a few times now. I've seen a lot of them, so probably could use some more. But they're all about the scope of what you'd expect out of WarioWare. So you figure them out pretty quickly. The twist here is you're doing 4 at once.
Yeah.
So each of them are going to have a different style of input. Some you're going to drag, some you're going to tilt, some you're going to move something around.
What?
This is on iPhone.
Okay.
So something.
But can you switch characters at will?
No, you can't. It's bullshit. So it just continually throws different puzzles at you. One's a screw. I like that one. You're going to just like switch the bolt off.
I know how to use a screw.
Yeah? How do you do it? Left or right?
Tighty righty, lefty loosey.
Thank you. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that before.
Really?
No.
What a piece of shit you are. Oh. Yeah. No, you're fine.
Thanks, buddy.
You're right.
But that's basically it. Like, it's just take WarioWare, do 4 at once, and then do as many as you can, but then don't have as many games as WarioWare.
They need to somehow mix this up with, like, Space Team.
Yeah, like actually make it multiplayer, so you got to call out different things. Maybe. Like, even if you're watching this, you can see some of the repetition. Popping up. So, like, I think that's probably the biggest problem this thing's got, is that if there needs to be, like, what made WarioWare work, was there was, like, 120 micro games?
Best WarioWare game.
I liked the dodging the arrows.
No, I just mean which game.
Oh, Twisted.
Twisted, of course.
That one's. I thought you meant like which particular.
No. I don't mean which mini game.
WarioWare
Isn't your favorite mini game the throwing the paper plane?
Oh, that's a game in itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that shit is awesome.
Have you played much WarioWare?
Yeah, I played one that was on Wii U. No, Wii. Just Wii.
Oh, that's the worst
It's
one.
not WarioWare, no.
It's the worst. Because before every game, they're like, "Oh, make sure you prepare and hold the remote like this." Like, no, the games are supposed to be like, bam, 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 bam.
I really loved it, and I played like this arcade thing in Japan that was basically WarioWare. It was great. I didn't understand what was happening, but you just like
it doesn't matter.
Worked it out. It was so good.
What made WarioWare great is that each game was basically the complexity of this. So it's like the one simple thing you have to do.
You still played one.
But the speed. But it was the speed.
Yeah, it's
the speed of it. True. And so it's just like, you just be faster and faster and faster and faster and faster until like you're like, oh shit, I just don't know what to do.
Did you play Muscle March?
No.
No one did. Yeah. It's where you play bodybuilders and you got to hold the remote in the bodybuilding stances. So good. Funny. Someone stole your protein powder, and you got to get it back. Oh. I always played the polar bear in the little tiny. No, just the little G-bang. I guess what are they?
Wasn't there some kind of bunny guy in bunny ears?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh
yeah. He was the one that stole the alien. He's the guy that steals your protein powder. Yeah. That piece of shit. I hate that guy.
This is all right.
And he's not too fond of him either. Whoever that guy is.
Needs more games.
I'm going to go with the next game that's on my list. This is just a demo. I got to say,
is that purple because it's rare?
It looks like...
Yeah, okay. So this is called Neon Chrome. It is a roguelike.
Yep.
And it's twin-stick shooter. Now, when I first played the game, I actually should have kept a little bit of this footage in. My laser sight was like half an inch to the right of me. It's like its center point. It's like, this seems like a bug. So I contacted the dev, and it was a bug, and they gave me a solution, which was that I had to set my PlayStation's overscan back to 0, and then it was fine, and this should be a patch out either tomorrow or in the next couple of days that fixes it for everyone.
And now I'm trying to think what was causing it.
Well, probably just where it was centered on the screen.
Yeah, probably using the... Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but I just died. So this is where we get into where it basically ripped off the progressions of things like Rogue Legacy, which is one of my favorite games. And ripping off I'm fine with, because why don't you... Of course you take good things from good games. So I'm able to buy different upgrades with the money I got from my last run. And then the theming of the game is that and why this works, is that you're not any of the people that go out. You're a guy that's sitting in a control center, and you go into a clone body every time. So I'm going to get in this chair.
The immersion chair.
The immersion chair, and it's going to give me an option of 3 randomly generated characters. Yes.
Wow.
So it's like, so you can choose the thing. You've got permanent leveling up. You've got your base characters that are always random, and those are all the pods. Which makes me think, because it looks like there's a lot of them, but
you can run out.
I hope so.
That'd be good.
I hope so.
I like that little touch of like you can see how many you've gone through.
Yeah. It's really cool. And then it's just randomly generated levels up to a final boss.
It sounds like a very poor game.
Yeah, I mean, about the only thing that I'm not super fix. Not that the fidelity's wrong, but it could be a little bit more easy to read in some cases. Like in some things are really good. You might have noticed before when I shot explosive items, a big red ring appeared, what was going to be a splash damage, and then a smaller ring grew until it reached the larger ring, and then it would explode.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
So that's really readable. That's really cool.
Yeah, like that.
That's happening there again on the screen. I just like characters don't really look particularly striking in it. They just sort of look like the difference between a robot and a person is not really much.
Yeah.
You sort of just got to look and watch, see what their movement's like, and that guy seems to be holding a gun. I guess it's a human. There's not really a whole lot more to say other than it's really, really solid, and it steals from the best, and it does pretty good.
Okay.
So whilst it's not like you have if you haven't played Rogue Legacy, I'd say play Rogue Legacy. But if you've played something like that, or you don't like a platform and you prefer a twin-stick shooter...
Well, like this looks more like my kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I don't really like platformers, and I like my sci-fi settings, so, this looks like more something I'd enjoy.
Yeah, it's well-themed. Like, I really like the whole way that, the base is done, and you upgrade things between missions... Well, not between missions, between people. And then during the missions, you get upgrades during the mission, of course, because that's part of a roguelike. You don't want to be... You don't want to just be stuck there without the stupid power-up that actually ruins the game, but is kind of funny. Oh, I can use that as a segue.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. So Neon Chrome, it's pretty cool. It's on PS4, and I think it's coming. It's out on PC as well. Okay. So, stupid things that ruin the game.
Girl.
So, Cat Girl, who hates salad or something. What is it? Cat Girl without salad. The only time I found that actually has a meaning is if I thought some salad generated in a level and I touched it and it hurt me.
Yeah.
So, okay. So this is shmup. This is made by Way Forward. This is part of the latest Humble Bundle Monthly.
Yep.
It's a Humble exclusive.
Oh, okay.
It was a game that they teased like a year ago or 2 years ago, I think, for April Fool's Day, and then they made a game of it. And it's got some really, really neat ideas, and the game is shit.
Yeah, that's cute.
Now, I jumped forward a little bit in the footage there because it was a whole minute of me just doing nothing.
So give me some of the good ideas. What can I steal?
Okay, so here's where we go. Weapons drop, and your weapons are basically little mini games. So now I've got to play DDR while I shoot. Yep. I lost that one really fast because you got to control yourself while playing DDR whilst trying to get in the range of shooting. This is my arcade gun. So I control Pac-Man by using the X, Y, A, B buttons. I can control the direction.
Okay, that's cute.
Yeah.
I like the flying anime eye.
Yeah. Now this is one of the more impressive ones.
Oh, okay, it's RPG.
Yeah, so up and down changes what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then not up and down, so like X and A.
Yeah.
And then I'm using a Xbox 360 controller. And then the others use the thing, so I can use magic attacks or sword attacks and that sort of thing. This stuff's really cool. I think with the exception of 2 All Powers, you've now seen almost every power in the game. You lose them in one hit, and it can be many minutes between getting a power up sometimes. Mm. And the normal shooting is really unsatisfying, and the patterns aren't. Like, the game's also really easy until you hit the bosses, and they're only hard because they go on forever.
Are there any interesting mechanics with the bosses?
Not that I've had so far. Just the fact that, like, they've got a health bar, you wear it down to nothing, and then the health bar comes back with one more notch on it. It does that, like, 4 or 5 times. It's like, why have a fucking health bar then? It's like, whatever. Holding on, hopefully, for one more power-up, which is a bit fun as well. And, like, this is good shmup design, but I don't think the colours are quite right. So where on my body is can I get hurt?
I don't know. Normally there's like a little dot or something.
Yes, my bow tie.
Where's your bow tie?
That's the problem. Like, it's fine.
Oh, yeah, I can see your bow tie.
Yeah, a little bow tie. You can it doesn't quite stand out as my point.
Then it needs to be like a really big red thing.
Especially when some of the mechanics, like the DDR one, require you to look at the bottom of the screen. So this is my golf mechanic.
Okay.
I can fire off golf balls, and you can't control where the angle's going. It just goes up and down constantly. And there doesn't seem to be really any balance on how the powers work or anything. It's just some random stuff to play with. So it's an okay game to spend play a level of it, and then you're kind of done.
I didn't know that Humble was doing exclusive games.
Yeah. It's part of the monthly. And I think they're just going to have things to sell themselves afterwards as well. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it went to other things afterwards, but they call it exclusive. But what's exclusive these days? Yeah. But I suppose the one thing I'm totally missing out on is that while most of this is happening, there's pretty much constant dialogue between Catgirl and the person that's put the bounty on and different characters. And if you really enjoy WayForward's writing, like in Shantae and stuff like that, you might get a kick out of it. Personally, I think the writing is the worst part of Shantae, so they're just kind of annoying anime tropes on the whole. It's like, I haven't laughed. I think there was 1 or 2 jokes I laughed at, but they try to throw it at you like the speed of a Borderlands game. It's a lot of missed jokes real quick.
The secret is lots of jokes, Paul.
As fast as you can.
As many jokes as possible.
Okay, so there we go.
Right, I have nothing much to say about it. Like it. Yeah, I like the power-up stuff. So that's good.
Quick diversion.
Yep.
I finally did what I've been wanting to for a while, which is start playing Until Dawn. Because I didn't want to play it by myself, I wanted to play it with my wife, and I had another friend over at the time as well, and we all sat down. And it is such a perfect multiplayer game. Not in that everyone can play, because it's only a single-player game, but every time there's a decision... It's like, which one do I do, guys? I don't even choose. I'm yet to choose one.
So I wasn't sure how much game there was in this. I thought it was just like a slasher where you kind of push the story forward through.
Oh, it is completely like watch a minute of footage, choose to run left or right.
Okay.
A quick time button's come up. Do you push it or do you not? That said, the branching in the game is huge.
Yeah.
Like, any character can die. It's fine. But you can also finish the game with all characters alive.
Okay, so how long is it?
Don't know. I haven't finished it yet. We're playing like a chapter at a time. You just go through, sit down, play like half an hour, 40 minutes or whatever of game, and then we go, that's good.
Is
We'll
it
continue
scary?
later. That is what you find scary.
Yeah, define scary.
I've watched approximately 16 million horror films.
Okay.
So I generally watch them for the self-referential lols, which is why most horror films are made, of course.
Are there any self-referential lols in here?
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Like, if you are a fan of the slasher genre, you will get stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, it's really well done.
Was she about to have premarital sex?
No, they this is just the intro, so I'm not spoiling any real story stuff. And also there's no real choices in the intro either. She was your sister who got called up to a room because she likes a boy, and he said, why don't you come up and have sex with me? And all the friends hid.
Oh.
And then when she came up and she starts taking off her top, and like, they'll do that, just a prank. I don't understand this prank, because that guy could have just had sex with a nice lady.
Yeah, what's the end game of this prank?
And instead, he just had her feelings and will get no sex.
No.
This is
it's
just bad form.
Like a bad plan.
Yeah. He cockblocked himself.
I do like the idea of playing this group.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun.
Way to do it.
Yeah. Because, you just get... horror films are always better with multiple people to begin with.
Yeah.
Do they split up?
Of course everyone splits up.
So do you swap between characters?
Yes.
So it's basically just ripping off 5?
No, you can't change to any character at any time.
Oh, okay.
It's completely story-based. It's pre-scripted. But that said, as I said, the script can vary greatly, so there's a huge amount of replayability in the game, which we'll see if I do it after we complete it. I think it'll probably take us just a couple... Because we only play every couple of days or so. So it'll take us probably a few weeks to finish it up. Then I might have a go myself and see if I can find some of the weird things. Because there's got to be weird things to discover in this. But yeah, the presentation's real nice. It looks pretty good most of the time.
Are there any good kills?
Not so far as of yet, but it's pretty early days. Plus, I'm trying not to have them killed.
I wanted this. That's my game. Main game.
Look out, there's some bugs!
Are they the murderers?
I think so. This first bit's got a guy with a flamethrower.
Wait, why don't you play this?
Yeah.
Check it out.
They still look pretty good.
Well, we can all play a chapter together someday.
Yeah.
And then we can all hold each other for emotional support.
Don't need your emotional support. Video games, eh?
Gotta let it sit there.
You're gonna get the taste. When did you start drinking it neat?
Why?
Like when? Like when does it always a point? You were like,
how else do you drink it?
Some people mix it with stuff.
What, like milk?
Coke.
Yes, Coke.
I like milk.
Yeah.
It's rich and full, just like Scotch. What? Okay.
Yeah.
I've actually hit all the games I was talking about this week. Anything you want to hit up before we close up for the day?
No, I'm good.
No?
You good?
Yeah.
It's E3 next week.
I know. I'm excited.
All those Nintendo announcements coming.
Well,
many
they
things.
clarified a few things.
Yep.
Legend of Zelda is not the only thing at E3 for Nintendo. It is the only playable thing.
Mm-hmm.
They will be showing Pokemon and something else.
I've already seen a lot of Pokemon.
Have you? I thought they only had that one bit of footage.
Well, I've seen that one bit of footage. It's more Pokemon.
That's
it's like...
Look, you're not going to convince me on that it's just more Pokemon battle. I've been that way for at least 3 Pokemons. But of course, that's just one release, isn't it? 3 Pokemons?
Yes. Yeah.
Sun, Moon,
I've been playing some Fire Emblem. But I have nothing much really to say apart from...
I've started playing
Fire
the
Emblem.
Previous Fire Emblem
Awakenings.
before the new one. Yes.
Yeah.
Again, I don't have much to say either.
Yeah.
The problem I have with those games is they're always a slow ramp up.
Yeah.
And whilst I do need to be introduced to the mechanics, I'm also like, these first 10 missions basically just had me moving towards the closest person and hitting them. I'm not making any interesting strategic decisions, which is why I want to play this game.
I do struggle a bit with fantasy-based strategy games that I don't feel like they have the same strategic depth as something like XCOM. I think as soon as you make it so you have to be next to each other to hit, then it's random chance. Like
there's
more kind of random rolls.
There's still archers and magic and all that sort of shit in fantasy games.
I still feel like I lose a lot of control in melee strategy games because it's like I'm next to them. There's a random roll, and then
you can get fucked up.
Yeah, whereas
you can still get fucked up in XCOM. XCOM's all about getting fucked up.
But XCOM, I feel more like I'm making the decision to cover a corridor. It's like that side's covered, and I'll probably have a pretty big advantage if someone does.
What about if you're making a decision to cover this mountain range with a stick?
We can.
That's what I would do in like Shining Force 2.
I like my line of sight stuff, but I have been enjoying it. I like the castle stuff. I got to that where it's like you build a castle and you put down shops and things. There's a little dragon you feed turnips to.
Cute.
Yeah, that stuff's all right. The split plot thing's weird because I got Birthright, which is
which one's that one?
The nub version.
Okay,
that's the easy mode one, and then there's Conquest, which is the hard mode one. They don't tell you which of these are
but it's not hard mode, easy mode as such. Isn't it one like larger scale battles and one's more grindy?
No, like one is significantly more difficult than the other.
Oh yeah, I hear it's more difficult, but it's more because it's a different kind of combat.
Well, yeah, they're pretty different. So like the Birthright one is more like traditional battles.
Yeah.
Where Conquest, there's more objective-based stuff. Also in Conquest, there's no...
Conquest sounded more Shining Force to me. And I like Shining Force.
Yeah, maybe. Conquest, also, you can't go and grind.
Yeah.
If someone's died, that's it. Like, it's like you really need to be much more mindful of resources, where Birthright's a bit more lenient there. But then, like, so I'm playing Birthright, Cheryl's playing Conquest. But, like, the way I hear her talking about Conquest, I kind of feel like I might like that one more.
It sounded more interesting to me.
Well, even narrative, like, I've heard that the Birthright story is meant to be better, but as someone who's not that into kind of
Birthrights,
fantasy
prophecies, birthrights, birthmarks.
Kind of jazz.
What's your favorite kind of birthmark?
I like superfluous nipples.
I have one of those. Anais, what's your favorite kind of birthmark?
None.
What about Gorbachev's big purple thing?
Nah, I'm good.
Pretty good. Yeah, that's just a beetroot stain.
What?
Gorbachev.
I don't know who Gorbachev is.
Neither.
Russian. What's his first name? I don't even remember anymore.
I don't know.
We got to find out. We got to
get shit up.
You all know Gorbachev.
Maybe. Anyway, the plot in Conquest, it's like more you're playing the bad guys.
Mikhail Gorbachev.
Oh, all right. What's he do?
Politician.
He's a politician.
Yeah, one of. Yeah.
Am I failing?
You're failing at world history pretty well.
It's true that I often don't pay attention to the world around me.
So you don't even get the whole birthmark and Gorbachev's head reference. What am I paying you for?
I get paid?
You get paid out a lot.
I do, it's true.
Let's think of a hot new reference that you won't get.
Okay, do it.
I don't know things that are that hot on your referencey. Hotline bling? How about that?
I don't know.
I used to call you on my rotary phone. Did you ever have a rotary phone?
I did.
It's got a zero in it, Paul.
God damn it.
So many zeros.
Yeah, but you meant it when you dialed someone.
Yeah.
Not these days.
It's your commitment. Like, if you're going to dial a number with many zeros, that means you
I don't
really...
even call anyone these days.
Yeah, who wants to talk on their phone?
Yeah.
Whenever someone wants to speak to me, I'm like, ugh.
But it's like, whenever I do get a phone call these days, I'm like, there's immediate dread. It's like, okay, if someone's calling me, it's probably for something.
My phone started ringing at about 4 a.m. the other day, but it wasn't actually calling. Just one of my systems at work was just sending me a bunch of notifications so close together it sounded like it was vibrating as a call. But I was just like, oh no, Dad's dead.
That's where you went.
Immediately.
Yeah.
So, you know, whenever like your partner's out and they're a bit late coming home and then an ambulance goes past and they're dead.
Obviously, yeah.
They're dead. Every time.
When was the last time you called someone for a chat? Long time ago.
Well, usually I'll call my parents, pretend it's a chat, but really I'm like, can you do this thing?
I have this laundry that needs doing.
Yeah.
Do your own laundry. It's easy. Just burn it all and buy new things. Okay. That pretty much brings us to the end of today's 8.5-bit. Thank you for joining us. You can catch it on our website, 8.5bit.com, our Twitter and Facebook. We're on iTunes, Libsyn, other things, whatever.
SoundCloud.
Find us. Are you maintaining the SoundCloud? Well, I told you I'm not doing the fucking SoundCloud. Right. That's for you.
I should stop paying SoundCloud, or I should put it up on SoundCloud.
You can do it.
Yeah.
That's fine. SoundCloud hates tags.
Yeah.
You got to fight them tags. And if you want to contact us, send us any comments, please email us at bitsplease@8.5bit.com. I've been your host, Paul.
I've been James.
I've been Anais.
Catch you later, everyone. What have I got on
I'll probably
PS4?
get Mirror's Edge. Wait, that wasn't going to be an option.
Woo!
Oh,
You've been
sorry.
eating fucking sausages or
Sorry,
something.
no, I had a lot of garlic for dinner.
Jesus Christ!
I apologise. Sorry, buddy. Seriously, a lot of garlic.
That was intense.